Are you financially prepared to move off campus? What's your budget? Do you know answers to questions like these? If not, stay tuned. We're going to discuss some of the monthly costs and one-time expenses that go into getting your first apartment. Now let's jump into one-time expenses. One-time expenses include first month's rent, last month's rent, security deposit, and realtor fee. The first and last month's rent, respectively, will help pay for your first and last month's rent. So these are paid before you move in as a sort of deposit, and that way you have your first month for September already paid for and your last month for August already paid for by the time you move in. So that's 2 less months of rent you have to pay throughout the year. Security deposit is also due before you move in, and that basically protects the landlord against any damage you might do to the property. If you don't do any damage and you return the apartment in the condition that you found it, that's really great for you. You get your entire security deposit back at the end of the lease. Additionally, you may get some interest back as well because the security deposit is supposed to be kept in an interest-bearing savings account, so you'll end up getting more back than you additionally put in due to the interest. The last fee on the list here is the realtor fee. This realtor fee is basically the commission that the realtor and the real estate agent will charge for finding you this apartment. Essentially, only a real estate agent that's licensed in the state of Massachusetts can charge this fee, and it cannot exceed 1 month's rent. You should also ask because the realtor's fee may be negotiable, so make sure you get the best deal for you and that you're only being charged 1 month's rent or less for this realtor's fee. And again, all 4 of those fees that I mentioned are due before you move in. Furniture is another one-time expense you should think about. Things like bedding, couches, tables, chairs, things like that you may not have in your current residence hall, you need to think about when you move off campus because unfurnished is the norm off campus. You can find some furnished units, but they're pretty hard to come by. So make sure you factor in furniture into your one-time expenses. Installation fees are additionally something you should think about, especially going along with cable and internet. You have to pay for somebody to come out and install these for you. Those installation fees and one-time setup fees can start to add up, so make sure that you budget those into your budget. And last but not least, moving expenses. Do you need a U-Haul? How are you going to get all of your things from your hometown or your residence hall room back up to your new apartment? So you need to think about these things when you're considering to move off campus and knowing about what your budget is.